two stellar OD consultants who have worked with clients and organizations for years now. Wrote a book not for OD consultants, as you just said, Kathleen, not even for business leaders. This book is applicable to my mother and her sewing club, to my children on their sports teams, to heads of state and community leaders all at the same time.
A wide market.
It's a book written for the people from two OD consultants. So in essence, you may be answering my question on what is the future of OD. We're at the annual OD Network conference in your hometown of Seattle. We've had several days of learning about what is OD. I just want to ask the two of you, where is the field going? And maybe is this the direction of getting out of OD and just getting into the world of being with people rather than being consultants talking to organizations and trying to fix organizations to develop into being more extraordinary?
I think we're kind of trapped in the profession. One is we think of ourselves as a profession. That's part of the trap. And we want to be professional. We want to be respected. That's part of the trap. How can I be an OD CPA, kind of, so that I've really got qualifications. I'm an important person in the world. So there are things about OD that have trapped us. We forget that by some people's estimates, OD started in the mid-'60s. And so it's a very young profession. It's more of a trade. So one of the things we need to do is keep learning. It isn't like we've got it all together, So we need to keep learning. We think it would be useful to move in the direction of not focusing so much on tools and techniques and behaviors, but to focus more on what are the needs that we're trying to meet that are underneath that. So I'm hopeful that right now we're in a very, with a market-driven market-driven programs. OD people are learning to be readers of menus in restaurants. Let's see, I think I'll have a little future search and maybe some open space, rather than back in the kitchen creating recipes for the future and to satisfy, to help us work with that client population that we've got. So I think it's a squishier, more organic future that we need to move toward, and our reach into these needs is an example of that.
Right. I have the privilege of sitting on the OSR board,
which is
it's a graduate program offered by Seattle University, the Organization System Renewal, long 30-year history, founded by Don Swartz, supported by many of the leading lights in the field. The Lipitts were involved in the very beginning. So I've had a chance through the board work to really think about this, and it almost seems to me that developing organizations is the outcome of many different disciplines, and that for organization development people, OD consultants or practitioners are only one slice of so many different people who contribute to developing organizations. The whole point, especially if we think of, I was going to say the world of work, but we've got community volunteering as well as families. It's people come together in groups to make something happen. In the world of work, it's certainly to get something done, to make a difference in the world. But it's not just people of our discipline who contribute to the development of the capacity to make that happen. I've always been very fond of the capacity building dimension of our field, of our trade. But I guess for the future, I see it's like systems thinking. Everybody needs to know how to be a systems thinker.
Not just us.
Not just us. And so the more that any person, whether they're a member of a frontline team on a manufacturing floor trying to improve a process, or an executive team, there is a set of knowledge and skills that it would be very useful if they had these perspectives. But the goal is much the same, is developing the capacity of the organization to make certain things happen in the world. So I guess all this all this talk from me. I'm an extrovert talking my way into it.
What do you know?
What do you know? How about that? The
future of
shades of Geoff and
The
Kathy.
future of OD is squishy.
The
Jeff.
future-
We've proven it right now.
Well,
Yeah.
not only squishy, but evolving and
We don't know
more
what we're doing.
universal. I mean, it's,
There's a lot more that we
Yeah.
don't know about organizations than we do know, and we should be explorers.
and it's not just us.
Yeah,
It's not just us
Yeah.
who come to a conference like this.
yeah.